Time to abandon ship.
Oh no!
Here we go!
Can I persuade you to join us for a drink? It's a tradition.
Here, here.
Jar Jar, homie, my main man, quickly. Before the Separatists attack, get into the escape pod.
Hey! This is escape, then we're the pod.
Welcome back to Star Wars Escape Pod. I'm your host, Josh, and we have the Rogue One commentary track for you guys today. It was a pretty late evening, so you know what? It's we kind of trail off towards the end as we start getting very tired here. But I have Reed and Blake and Bryce, who is a previous guest on the show. He's actually returned as well. He was on one of the Mandalorian roundtables that we had. Actually, I think it was the very first one. So we're super happy to have him back too. And we're all going to be chilling. So just turn on your TVs, go to the Disney Plus tab, whatever you got to do, because we're watching Rogue One.
Another happy landing.
All right, welcome back, guys.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, thanks for having me here. It's good to be back.
Yeah, always good to have you guys on. Yeah. I heard a comment about VHS.
Yeah, they could be on VHS. You can't say, like, get your Blu-rays ready. What if someone... I know a guy who actually, like, converted a lot of these movies to VHS.
It's hilarious.
So he could have a full VHS set.
Wow.
I was gonna say though, I'm a little offended at Josh because I actually have Rogue One on DVD, not Blu-ray.
Are you kidding me? Man, you're still running DVDs in 2016, hey?
What's wrong with DVDs?
Yeah.
Nothing's wrong.
I'm surprised they still sell them, to be completely honest. I think at this point in the DVD VHS lifespan, they quit making VHSs.
Yeah.
I still, when I buy movies now, I'll buy them on Blu-ray, digital, and DVD because you can just buy them. Yeah, you can just buy the combo now. So it's like I'm like, yes, I want it on DVD to play on my old DVD players.
Why not?
Why not?
Resell that one disc on Amazon or something.
Yeah, well, I know that I've at least gone out and bought all the steel books as soon as they've come out, just, you know, as a collector's item sort of thing. But
yeah, I've done that too. I haven't missed any yet, and you and I are both kind of working on that.
Right. Yeah, and those tend to carry the DVD, the digital, the Blu-ray. Some of them have a 3D Blu-ray.
Well, I hope so. They're like $50 each.
Yeah. Well, and now you'll be able to get the 4K editions as well. They're selling 4K copies these days too.
The last 2 or 3 movies had it. I think Last Jedi was the first one to have 4K. Because I was very confused. Because I remember thinking I bought the wrong one and I couldn't play it. But I actually just had both.
Yeah. Open up. You get like 5 discs in there.
Yeah.
Bonus features, like everything.
What is this?
Yeah. Hey, that's why you pay $50 for.
I mean, yeah. Well, honestly, I mostly just pay for it because the case looks nice. And it like makes a nice sound when you tap it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So really quick, I found this like article about there was like Adidas is making some Star Wars shoes. Boba Fett, Chewbacca.
What?
Have you guys seen those?
Wait. Kids shoes or adult shoes?
It was like it was adult shoes, I believe, just collector shoes.
I don't think this is the first round of shoes they've done. I think they've already done one round.
Well, I remember a friend of ours, Austin. You might remember him, Blake. He went out and bought some of those Star Wars shoes when they launched in like 2015 or whatever it was. But,
were they proper Disney quality and just deteriorated in a week?
I honestly don't think he's even worn them.
Oh, they just collected them.
Yeah,
right.
He had over like 40 pairs of shoes.
Actually, these ones I'm looking at, these Boba Fett kickers, don't look that bad. If that's what they actually look like. Is it the darker tone or the green ones?
They have like a dark green sort of look to them. The Chewbacca ones are kind of strange. They got like fur on the outside.
Oh yeah, they did a set of Chewbacca style.
That's exactly the type of shoe that I want to wear in the Lower Mainland because it never ever rains here. Dude, I would buy that shoe just to put it in like a glass case, and then like 40 years from now, like a grandkid of mine will be like, "Hey, Grandpa, what's that?" And I'll be like, "Back in my day."
Tell some like long story that has nothing to do with anything.
Why not fur on your shoes, right? I mean, people got it on their jackets, they got on their scarves.
Yeah, this sounds right up your guys' alley. I don't know. You guys could have a full Star Wars outfit with Star Wars shoes.
The problem is Josh and I have the exact same sense of fashion, so whenever we see something, we both buy the exact same item. So we have like 5 of the same jackets and like 4 of the same shirts.
Well, you can get the Chewbacca ones now. That's why there's different ones.
I think we're gonna have to rock paper scissors, and whoever loses has to get the Chewbacca one.
They have a pair
of. If they got a pair of Heelys, I'll take those.
Oh man, Star Wars Heelys! I'm down. I'm down for some Star Wars Heelys.
They should be the Boba Fett ones, because then when you're using the jetpack, you're just using the heel function.
Oh, they've got to be BB-8, right?
Oh no!
Okay, Josh. So totally different topic, but you've seen the new Mulan movie, right?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, so my family got me to buy it for them because I let them use my Disney Plus. So I bought it and I watched them. So I watched it with them. Like not 5 minutes into that movie, I look over at my brother and sister and I'm like, okay, now every time that they say chi in the movie, replace it with the Force, and we're now watching a Star Wars movie. And for the rest of the movie, every time you did it, it like fit perfectly. It's freaking hilarious.
No, really?
Oh, dude, yeah, because I don't know if you remember, but like the whole movie there, it's all about like her chi or whatever, right? And like the power of her chi. So I'm like, oh, it's not chi, it's just the Force. They just made another Star Wars movie, but called it something else.
I started having flashbacks to the Iron Fist show, the Nightmare. that was a bad show.
What was it? I've never heard of that show.
No one has watched this show, John.
No.
I thought you were talking about that like movie Quentin Tarantino produced, like The Man with Iron Fists or something like that. And I was like, what?
No, it was
about
Marvel.
Very unsuccessul Marvel TV show where the whitest man ever learns kung fu.
Yeah.
Wait, like whiter than Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai?
yeah.
Man, actually, like I like The Last Samurai.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's like your typical, just American guy. He's supposed to be a billionaire, Danny Rand, and he's like.
Oh, so he's basically Batman, but like
kind of, pretty much, yeah. So
he's like a crappy Orlando Bloom. That's what he looks like. Budget Orlando.
If Orlando Bloom was Batman, this is okay. I get it.
Oh, so
and then just picture him, just very not PC, like learning kung fu in China. Like it's so weird.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Like the whole thing got stellar negative reviews. And,
have you guys ever seen Beverly Hills Ninja?
No, but I probably should.
No, I have. It's got Chris Farley, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's so
fat guy in a little coat. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, I've only ever watched it on cable when it's on. Like, I've never gone out of my way to watch the movie, but yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, I can't remember. Chris Farley's in some great movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't remember when he passed away, but oh my gosh, they're so freaking funny. Yeah.
In 2000, I think.
Something like that.
Huh. Oh, he was on SNL, hey?
Yeah, he was one of the guys that started on there, then was able to make some spin-off movies through the late 80s, early 90s.
Right. Oh, okay, yeah. No, I haven't seen this guy in anything.
A lot of people, even today, still say that Dave Spade is only ever funny when he's with Chris Farley.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, that's too bad.
I mean, he's not that funny.
That guy could have been some weird big fat alien in Star Wars. I think he would have done really well.
Just paint him like blue or something and put him in. That's all you need.
Yeah. Right. All right, so before we start this, how did you guys like Rogue One when you first saw it in the theater?
I liked it a lot, to be honest, especially coming right out of Force Awakens. I was very pleasantly surprised. Didn't really know what to expect, and they really nailed it. Especially because they're putting the movie in the original trilogy era, and that had a lot riding on it. Because if they screwed that up, I don't know if anyone would ever trusted them to make a movie ever again. Like that in itself is pretty risky. But with the people behind it, like being John Knoll, I just felt like came together really well. I was very happy with that film.
Yeah, definitely. Like, going into it, I was really apprehensive because I had heard about them having like multiple directors and stuff like that, so I was kind of worried. And so I was really like hoping it was going to turn out good, and it like way exceeded my expectations. Like, I was really, really happy with that movie. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think I kind of have the same thing. I was pleasantly surprised, and still like out of, I think all the ones of like recently that have come out. I'm a big fan of this one actually.
Yeah, that's fair. I think a lot of people are on the same page. I think this one kind of stands out as one of the best ones that Disney's actually put out since putting out the 5 that they've done. And weirdly enough, having all those director problems kind of set it aside as being a pretty great film at the end of the day, because, you know, even after the swap and everything, I think the second guy that came in and fixed things up was, I don't know, he did his job really well, because there's a lot about the ending that wouldn't have happened and stuff we wouldn't have gotten.
I forget the name of him, but the director they brought to come in was the same guy who did the Bourne series, the original ones.
Yeah, was it David something?
I'm not sure what his name is.
David Blaine?
That's it!
Is it actually? No, I thought it... Is it actually? Is it David?
No, that's a magician,
no.
Josh.
No, okay.
Bryce, think you almost spit all over your monitor there.
Yeah, it took it. That was a bad time.
No, I'm looking for the director here, but he's not on the IMDb page. It's just Gareth Edwards.
It's Gareth Edwards, yeah. Because I think the other guy only filmed like 10 or 20%. He started just doing some pickup shots, and then they let him take some creative direction for the ending, but it was only the ending.
Yeah.
The rest of us still all Gareth.
Right.
And I'm sure Bob Iger did a lot of the directing himself. Calling shots, that is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's get this show on the road then. I'll do a countdown for everybody at home, and then if you just want to hit play along with us, we'll be synced up. So,
Josh,
you guys all,
before you get too far into this, I actually was thinking it'd be a really cool idea. I know we're halfway into the film is ready, but you should get a jump to hyperspace sound, and when you like go to the movie, like hit play, you should do like punch it and like play that sound effect.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Like, how have you not done this?
I'll add it in. I'll add it in after.
All right.
Let's all say the
ones.
punch it. Let's all say the punch it. All right. Okay. All right. All right. 3, 2, 1. Punch it.
Yeah, the sound effects. We should all just do the sound effects on our own.
It's real cheesy.
Oh, that'd be so good.
It was so weird watching this without seeing a crawl for the first time.
I think it took a lot of people by surprise, because hardly anyone knew what to expect going into this movie, right?
Yeah, exactly. Josh, I don't think we have audio. Oh, wait.
It's just you, buddy.
I don't have video, which is kind of weird.
Never mind, I got it.
Yeah, you guys are in the live stream?
Yeah. I'm good. I don't know about everybody else, but...
Reed, you good?
I can't. I'm not actually getting any video from the live stream. I can hear everything fine though.
Oh, that's strange.
The other problem, it's probably Discord. I know what it is. It's a Discord thing.
Should I disconnect from Discord and come back?
Sure.
All right.
I'm good.
Okay.
I was stealing Reed's video and Tanner's audio.
Oh,
I gotta
man, I
complain.
knew it. I
Oh, there we
knew
go.
you were the culprit. It's always you, Bryce. Can't be trusted.
Makes sense.
This is one of the only Star Wars movies that has come out recently where I clearly remembered a couple of the songs from the soundtrack.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That being
For sure.
said, I can't remember any of them now.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I didn't walk out of episode 7 with very much memory about the soundtrack, but there's like 1 or 2 songs in here that really stuck.
Yeah, there's a couple.
It's
They
this
grew on
theme
me
that
in time,
rings.
though. A lot of the sequel trilogy songs.
It might have been just because we did go to Celebration and we watched we went to a thing on the soundtrack. Hey, you remember
That's
that?
true. We
That's-
did do that. Yep.
Yeah.
This was such a cool design. These new troopers. They looked very
Oh yeah.
Yep.
like Navy SEALs esque. SEAL Team 6 or whatever it is.
Special forces.
Hell yeah.
Mads Mikkelsen is awesome in this movie.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
a great actor. I was so stoked that he was gonna be in a Star Wars movie.
I remember this was the first time I had ever seen him was in this. I remember looking him up, or when they announced him, it was like,
You may have seen him in
I
Casino
only-
Royale. In
oh, that's right, yeah.
007.
I'd seen him in that, and I think at the time he was doing Hannibal, and so I'm
Yep.
like,
Mhm.
I'm like, this is such a weird cast for a guy to be in Star Wars. I'm like, what are they going to do with this? But he
He's
did a great
super
job.
famous in Denmark.
He looks very Danish.
Yeah.
I could see that.
He's been in some other movies I've seen. I just don't remember what the movies are because he's not usually like the protagonist. He's usually
No.
like.
A cannibal.
Sorry, there's only ever one cannibal for me, and that's Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, fair.
I wonder where they filmed this part of the movie.
Yeah, I wonder.
It feels like Iceland or something.
Yeah, somewhere
There's a
cold, damp, and north of the
Kind of-
equator.
Kind of volcanic almost.
Yeah.
Find first.
there's a whole
I
book
think it is Iceland.
that
Yeah.
oh, it is Iceland.
Yeah.
There's a whole book that takes place before this film that does a great job at building the relationship between these two.
Yeah, I was
And,
actually just thinking about that.
Yeah, Catalyst, a Rogue One novel.
That's pretty cool.
It's fantastic. Yeah, it's one of the better ones.
Yeah, I remember liking it a lot.
This-
And it really does tie in why he has anything to do with the Empire building Death Star at all, and the
Yeah,
relationship
exactly.
between these two.
But yeah, back on the Death Troopers, like they're probably the first characters in all of Star Wars that I've ever seen like do something tactically sensible. Like they
Yeah.
actually like
Right.
instead of just like standing in the open, like hip firing their blasters and stuff.
Or like trudging through sand and almost falling over.
Why does this farm need moisture evaporators?
I
Why are
don't
there
know.
moisture farmers?
I think it's just like a staple of Star Wars now. So it's like that's the only way anyone can get water. Because I guess if you get water from lakes and streams, it'd be ruining the natural habitats, and you'd be a polluter.
I want to see an Imperial officer with the ranking so big it goes off the side of his like uniform. It's just like so many red dots.
Just keeps going.
That's a great costume for like celebration. You know, walk around. It's like a strip that goes behind your back.
It's like smacking into people.
It goes like a meter off of your chest.
Oh, dude, have you ever seen those guys that do like stolen valor, where they just like cover the entire front of their chest in like medals and like citations and stuff?
Man,
freaking hilarious.
It's like Boy Scouts.
Oh, dude.
Just so many awards.
Josh, you didn't get that many awards.
No, I never got that many. I was never given that many.
Just like Boy Scouts.
I was underprivileged.
I was a hero.
Josh is like, I made my own patches in Boy Scout. I didn't need theirs.
I was a veteran.
Josh was the only
4 big fairs.
Yeah, I was the underdog. Never got credited. This was, I think, the first movie to take an animated character and make him a reality.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Out of Star Wars, yeah.
Forrest Whitaker here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Carrera.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, so they already okay. Because I was always curious about his whole like get up or whatever. I was like, I wonder what made them decide to like, make him look like that and stuff.
I don't think he had that in the Clone Wars though.
No, he wasn't bald. He was quite a bit younger, right? Like this is we're going back to it's like 15 years prior to this movie kind of thing that
before
we see
Luke
him
was
in the,
born, yeah.
Or actually 20 years before this movie that we see him, yeah.
Oh, I love this alien. It's so bad. It's like a little shrimp.
Shrimp, yeah.
Yeah, Saul Guerrero is an interesting character because he started off as him and his sister were kind of leading that ragtag group of freedom fighters against the separatists of their homeworld.
Yeah.
And then it was Anakin Skywalker who, ironically enough, went with Rex and Ahsoka and Kenobi to help train them up to fight against the separatist movement there. And they ended up taking back their homeworld of Onderon. But I think it's super ironic that Anakin was the one who actually planted the seed for the rebellion, like right then and there, like during the Clone Wars. And then, later on it comes back to like totally bite him in the butt.
Wow. Oh, so...
Well, that happens to the Americans all the time, right? It's probably what it's based on, because like they'll help like different groups in the Middle East to fight whoever's in the power.
Mujahideen, Soviet-Afghan war.
Yeah, and like 10 years later, they got to fight the people that they trained.
Yeah, pretty much.
This location design is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say...
Asteroid with like 2 opposing kind of cities that are just upside down.
And I love how like grungy they made this movie, like how much kind of darker it is than some of the others.
Yeah.
Like that was one of my favorite things about it, because like especially some of the newer ones, like they made them like a lot more like utopian almost instead of like a dystopian.
It went very prequel-y again. That's how it was in the prequels, right? Everything was like super perfect and clean.
Yeah.
I mean, it was also how George wanted to tell the story of it. When the Empire comes to power, it becomes very industrial.
Yeah.
But maybe that's part of the reason why people liked this one more, is because it had that dirty, grungy feel of the original movies.
Well, that's the direction that they took Clone Wars too. They wanted that dirty, grungy look, and you saw a lot more of like the underworld in that show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This movie's a lot like darker too, actually. Not like compared dark in the sense as like the Dark Knight trilogy of Batman or anything, but like of the Star Wars movies, this is probably, I don't know, would you say it's the darkest one? I mean, like that moment right there too.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
When you watch one of the main characters he just murdered someone.
Yeah, just straight up on their team.
He murdered
a
an
fellow
ally,
rebel,
yeah.
and he just like shoots him in the spine.
Yeah, he knows he's not going to get away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say the world building in this film is amazing. Like,
Oh yeah, they did such a good job in this movie. Because
yeah.
like even though like we're seeing like a location like this where it's like desert, which we've seen like a bajillion times before,
Yeah,
they still managed to make it interesting and like compelling and stuff like that.
Oh, I was so intrigued by these guys. I love the scout trooper, just like
Yeah.
like stole a helmet.
Yeah.
Some corpse.
And that alien design is like all these characters here
Yeah.
are so dope. It reminds me of like a role playing group or something like
Yeah,
that. Like
totally.
A party
Yeah,
where everyone is-
the one guy with the rebel helmet, the one guy with the
I
scout
think
trooper helmet.
this guy with the face breathing apparatus. I think he got a short story after him, didn't he, Josh? Like that. It was
Yeah.
like a book of short stories.
Which guy? This guy?
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly. I do remember that this guy. I don't know if it's specifically this guy or his species, but it did pop up in Solo at the very end when they meet that group of rebels there.
He got some weird name like Sheriff something or other.
Oh, you mean the Constable Zuvio guy?
That's what it is. Is that not him? I get it mixed up.
No, he's the
Constable
Zuvio guy he's like the little guy with the metal
Turbo
the metal
tank!
hat or whatever. Yes,
love that.
clone turbo tank here.
Right?
Yeah.
And the highest
That was so
resolution
cool.
you've ever seen it.
It's great to see like a recycled asset of like the Republic just kind of be used to.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh
Still-
yeah, that was such a cool
Still
moment.
in use, but just used for a different purpose now. It's probably like you get the really crap jobs in the middle of nowhere. You get all the old garbage stuff from back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy's name is Benthic.
Ben
His name's
Feck.
Benthic. Yeah. And he appears in like Solo and shit, and like in a lot.
He's in
here,
Solo
yeah.
too. Really? It's cool design though.
Yeah. Benthic Two Tubes. That's such like a crime lord name.
Yeah, it's.
Tony Two Fingers. Benthic Two Tubes. He's got two tubes.
Got two tubes.
Dang.
You know, he's probably the only like droid character in all of the new movies that I actually like, other than like, you know, C-3PO, R2-D2
I'm on
or
board
whatever.
with that. I'm on board with that.
Did not like the what's her face in
L3?
Solo. Yeah, L3.
What about that
yeah.
little cone guy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
the one.
that little guy. I mean, he kind of doesn't really
He was
do
really
or say
small.
anything.
Like small part of the movie. He didn't really do anything. He was
That's
just kinda
fine. I
Deer?
kind of
You're
like
talking
him.
about Skywalker, like the little
The
rolling one?
newest one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
There's
BB-8
BB-8, and then there's the
Do, I think it was.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dio. But you know what really sets this one apart in this film? Is it's voiced by Alan Tudyk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, they recasted this group so well. It's crazy.
Yeah, you can. That's that character's name is Yan something. Yan Jordana, I think that's his name. It's the same one
guy.
that's on Yavin when the Death Star attacks.
Yeah.
in
Oh wow,
A New
that's
Hope.
awesome. Yeah.
Isn't he in some of the old games? Has to like give you missions.
He is,
Oh.
yeah.
And Mon Mothma, like I think we had this conversation when we were chatting about Revenge of the Sith, is that this is the same actress that played her throughout that film, but then all her scenes were cut
Yeah, that's right.
from the final product, but then like they still used the same actress to like bring her back and play the young Mon Mothma again. So
Well, I mean, you've already worked with her once, and she looks the part. Why not?
yeah, exactly. But it's fantastic because you don't see her in episode 4 or 5, right? Like you only get her in episode 6. So
And you could also argue that she was casted by George.
yeah, exactly. Her and Bail Organa, who shows up in this film as well.
What the Why did I lose connection?
Was he the first Latino person to be casted in Star Wars?
Yeah,
Like
I believe
background.
I believe he was. Yeah, I think there was a huge deal about that on social media and the news and everything.
Yeah, I think I
It was
remember
kind of
that too.
It was kind of how they were promoting his character too.
Of course they did. That's usually one of their angles these days.
Yeah.
Every
I'll have
movie
you know
they
that
gotta have some token to promote.
Ben Quadraneros was Latino. So
Oh, there he is.
He looks CG'd.
yeah, I always thought that too. I'm like, that's not a real man. Like, why are his eyes so weird?
Yeah, he looks different.
He's just older.
Yeah, what's funny though is before he was was he cast as Star Wars first or after? I can't remember, but I didn't really recognize him until I watched Dexter, and then in Dexter he gets trained to be a serial killer, and then I recognized him afterwards and as like Bail Organa. So I'm like, now I always think, oh, Bail Organa's got to be the serial killer behind the scenes.
50% of watching new Star Wars movies for me is just trying to look at cool ships in the backgrounds of shots.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why in that shot you can see the
the ghost.
the ghost in the background.
Yeah.
Love
Ghost,
watching
Star Wars
for
Rebels.
cool ships.
Aren't you guys excited to see the new ships from Star Wars Resistance in the background of stuff?
I still have not watched a single episode.
Man, that show, like,
I'm back.
honestly,
Sorry about that.
I got through the whole thing. It was just, yeah, I don't know.
Can you guys hear me okay?
It was definitely not for
All right.
your average age group, that's for sure.
But
I
what's
never
weird
would've
is
thought that I'd hear you utter those words. Josh is like, you know what? This children's show might be for kids.
That's why I always thought the younger the audience, the more you liked it, Josh. For
No,
Tiny
not
Tykes
typically,
and
not typically.
Pepper Pig, Paw Patrol.
Pepper Pig.
Oh, man.
But actually, it's funny. I thought I was gonna hate it a lot, and I ended up not minding it because it did remind me a lot of the old, like the really cheesy shows I watched when I was like 10.
Yeah, it eventually got less crappy, I guess. I kind of like, I don't know. I just kind of got used to it, and after a while, I was like, okay. I think there was just a lot of slapstick in there that I was like, okay. Like all the complaints that people have about
there was like every character is Jar Jar at some level.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought Kaz, like the main character of that show, was just a little.
By
too
the way,
dumb.
I didn't know it was Japanese until I saw an article about it like a year later.
Oh, really? You didn't know that, hey?
I did not know that.
It's also how they promoted his character.
I don't pay attention to that. Typical Disney. Anyway, one thing I really liked about that show though, is that there was some cool world building in it, where like they're on that. It's kind of like the facility that's in the ocean. You think is just like this island boat thing. There's actually like a ship they're all on, and then there's the pirates, like traditional pirates. Those are all pretty badass too.
Yeah. Actually, I did like that stuff too. Yeah.
We might have lost Reed, by the way.
Yeah, Reed, are you back?
He was for a bit.
Yeah, I think we lost him.
He's grayed out on Zencaster.
Boogaloo!
That's right.
No, we gotta wait. We gotta wait.
Too early. It's too early. Just so intense.
It's a harmonica.
Just the eye twitch.
You know, this is the first person that was cast in Star Wars who had asthma. Big shout out to asthma. People with asthma everywhere.
I like his sleep apnea machine.
I know, right?
Portable
We
sleep
memed that
apnea,
so hard.
the way of the future.
Best part of
Where
it.
you and man and sleep apnea machines merge and become one.
This song.
Yeah, this one was a pretty good one.
And these two shots, the last one and this one, they look straight out of the original trilogy. With the ship's lit like that, looks so good.
Oh yeah,
This is a great shot with the.
So
and just like
gorgeous.
you actually get a feeling for like the sheer scale that you never got in episode 4 because I mean with the CG technology you're able to like have that, you know,
comparison. Yeah, because you're not limited by models.
Yeah, those camera shots, you know, just like all those little Star Destroyers floating there in front of it. Like when you watch A New Hope, you don't see that.
Grand
Can
Moff.
people join Zencaster in progress, or is Reed just gone now?
I think he's just gone. Yeah.
He's bugging out.
Yeah.
I will say
Peter Cushing looks great for his age in this. Like,
I was gonna say it has aged a bit. I remember when this came out. Not all shots, but a lot of them are really good. They look a little CG now.
yeah.
But I remember when they first came out, I was very impressed.
Oh man,
Especially this first sequence.
They still hold up like pretty decently well. I mean, all things considered that he's not even there.
I think they did face replacement. So they have a different guy.
It was just ahead there. Yeah.
There we go. Now I can hear you all.
That shot looked nice. Yeah, he's back.
Oh, there he is. Okay, cool.
I think it might even just be the hair, and the face might be just a little bit waxy.
Yeah, that was my only complaint about the animated characters. I don't know why they made him look so shiny.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's the complaint that I had with the Leia as well. Was that they just all look really waxy for some
Leia
reason.
looks way worse than.
Yeah,
than
she
Tarkin.
does for sure.
Agreed.
She scared me.
oh yeah.
But if you just think about the amount of airtime they have, it makes sense they'd spend less time on it.
Yeah.
I think this
That's
is
true.
the only shot that we've got in all of the Disney Star Wars films that you see Coruscant.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Do they say that that's Coruscant?
No.
Not in the film, but it's supposed to be implied that that is where it is.
Coruscant, yeah.
Yeah, and in the Catalyst book, they kind of put it out there that that's where a lot of their meetings like take place and everything. So.
Right. So, what did Jeddah used to be specifically? Because they say it's a Jedi temple, but there's like the main Jedi temple. So is it like an old one that the Jedi abandoned, or like?
No, they used to be on
They
lots of different planets, so they didn't always just have the one temple.
Yeah.
So, like, there's different ruins and stuff. Because there's like the Sith too, right? The Sith have different like enclaves and stuff
Yeah.
all over different planets.
Yeah.
So I mean, they've been around for millennia, so they've just built
Right.
stuff over time.
Yeah. But so like, do they
Outposts,
train people
research
at these other
centers.
places too, or?
Probably. I mean, I don't know if there's given any actual history on a lot of these locations. Maybe Josh can talk about that if he knows.
Yeah, I don't really think there's too much. You can there's a few books about Jeddah. I think there was one called The Guardians of the Wills that may have gotten into it a little bit, but that's all I can think of. Oh, and I think the Marvel Star Wars comics actually covered a bit of Jeddah. Luke came to Jeddah and did some stuff, I think. So.
Oh, so can I just say, I used to, anytime I saw someone wearing like a jacket like he has in the middle of a desert, I always thought it was the stupidest thing in the world. But then I went, I have some family down in Arizona, and I visited them over the New Year, and now I understand.
Really?
Covering
Oh
your
yeah,
skin.
it gets cold.
At night
It
it
gets
does,
cold,
yeah.
man. Oh yeah.
Oh, at night. Yeah. Okay.
Well, not even at night. I mean, like during the winter, like it gets pretty cold down there.
Really? Even just during the day?
Oh yeah, like I came. So I had visited them in the summer. So that was like, you know, every day was like 40 degrees Celsius or something like that, or just insanely hot. And then when I visited them in the winter, I was like, oh, it's not going to be that much cooler. Like, no way. So I brought like one hoodie, and that was it. And I was freaking freezing the entire time, dude. It was so bad.
Oh, shoot.
You know, this is shot in the same place they filmed The Last Crusade with Indiana Jones.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, that's cool.
Where'd they film The Last Crusade?
This is in Jordan.
Oh, in Jordan. No way.
Where Petra is.
Yeah.
I just looked up Jeddah just briefly. Apparently, it's like possibly could have been, you know, the first Jedi Order temple.
I mean, it is called Jeddah, which is pretty close to Jeddah.
Well, I think, like, as far as, like, the official first Jedi temple, I think that's supposed to be Act 2, right?
I don't know. It just says, alongside
Go
other candidate
dress.
worlds such as Acto, Coruscant, Ossus, and Tython.
Right.
Yeah. Seems more of a spiritual importance rather than a actual place where Jedi would train.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
I think so. It's almost like in Empire Strikes Back. There's the dark. There's the Force in that section. So it's kind of like that, but positive in this planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like a holy city, right? Like it's supposed to be like the Jerusalem of Star Wars.
I really think that's what they're going for.
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Super crowded.
It's supposed to be
architecture.
Even on here, it says it's a place for pilgrims that travel to this place.
Oh, this cameo was so good.
There he is.
People hated this.
Why?
Really?
People thought it was so forced. They thought it was really forced.
Oh, I loved it.
It's
Yeah,
not
I loved
It
it.
was awesome.
I think it's an issue. I mean, it's like a split second. It's not like they're trying to make them like core characters of the movie or
And
something.
it's also really funny that it makes it like these two guys like travel planet to planet, like bragging about being like.
Well, yeah, it makes sense because like they're like, I have a death sentence on planet system, you know, like.
Some people hate fan service. I love fan service.
I love it. I love it. I don't know why people don't think that happened. Yeah.
Done, you know, within reason.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Although
Yeah,
Ponda
like
Babbitt's
Force
head
Awakens.
is massive in this. Did you see how big his head was?
I think it was big.
His giant
butt
butt face was bigger than the first one. That species, the Aqualish, they kind of made it so that they had fins, but then I think someone pointed out that in like A New Hope it had like an animal claw when Obi-Wan cuts it off.
Oh, it was like a tentacle thing.
Yeah, because he had like it was like a werewolf claw. But
Right.
in the lore, legends or whatever, they're supposed to have like these fins. So they ended up having to make like two subspecies.
Just to explain that. That's pretty
It's so good.
Some of them evolved to have hands, and some of them didn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. This was kind of an interesting moment because I don't think anywhere else in any of the Star Wars movies that they really mentioned the temple guards.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because, well, I guess they don't mention it here, but like the bodyguard, or the big bodyguard for the blind dude or whatever.
Oh.
Like I don't think we
I
can
think
see
that's
that.
such a great like memeable response that he has there. For that answer, you must pay. I really like when he says that. That's such a cool suit of armor that he's got, like the tank driver.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the tank driver is one of the best designed stormtrooper armor sets.
They've found a lot of them in the last few years. Lots of sets.
Yeah.
This tank looks super traditional too, like
Yeah.
Earth-like.
Yeah, classic hover tank.
That little thing.
The little munchkin.
Yeah.
Is that Warwick?
Yeah, Warwick. Yeah. Is it actually?
I have no idea. I wouldn't be surprised. In fact,
I
I
wouldn't be
bet
surprised either.
everyone who's under
I think
3
it might
feet is
be,
probably Warwick.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
Let me
him.
look it up. Yes, he was in Rogue One.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not
I think
surprised.
it was him. Yeah. I like the design of her blaster. I really like.
I always have a good laugh at that one. I don't know why.
Because a kid wouldn't do that, would they?
Yeah, just standing there like wailing.
Like so.
This is just a cool sequence.
Yeah, it is.
It feels very like Saving Private Ryan.
Oh yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah,
maybe more of a
pretty,
Black
like,
Hawk Down. There's a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
think it's pretty
Star Wars
cool.
terrorists running around throwing
Sure,
bombs
yeah.
at the.
Oh yeah, exactly. I think it's really cool though, just because like they're not like on either side really. Like they just shot at like both of them and stuff, and so like they really don't like try that hard to make the terrorists or whatever like the what do they call them again?
They're like a splinter cell of rebels
Yeah.
kind of thing. His partisans.
Yeah,
Saw's
the partisans. There we go.
partisans,
Saul's
yeah.
partisans. Yeah, they really don't try to make them like the good guy.
No,
No.
yeah, they try to make them look pretty like grungy, like
Yeah.
Very Han
Just
Solo-esque.
yeah.
She's got a extendable baton.
Yeah, I don't understand that part. I'm like, there's plenty of other moments where they could make her like, you know, like the kick butt chick or whatever, but I'm just like, it made no sense to me. I'm like, you got a couple of blasters, just shoot the guys. It's faster.
It's true. You know, sometimes at close
Oh, yeah,
quarters,
this
you
was
gotta
pretty
have
funny.
something else.
That was so great.
So smooth.
Just casually.
So good.
I think it's also cool they had Alan Tudyk on set just walk around in stilts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool actually.
This is why I like his character. Like he's just this dumb like they don't try to force him on you that hard. They just make him this really dumb like
Yep. In reality, nobody would listen to him.
Yeah. Like, why would they suddenly all turn around and focus on some random
Everybody
blind
stops
dude?
what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, the entire room.
Yeah. Yeah. People downtown just walk on by.
I like that there's the crashed X-wing in the background though. Like that's so cool. Like this guy's just shot up his own guy like 8 times. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, when you spray dust in someone's face that's wearing a completely sealed helmet,
Yeah, right.
and he's like, "Ah, my eyes!"
He definitely almost shot Donnie Yen in the head. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
like,
right.
it like cut his burned his hair.
Yeah.
Was that an X-wing back there? Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Oh man, I remember they're interviewing the cast, and I forget the name of the guy with the big gun there. He accidentally just like gave away the ending, and then they had to ban him from all interviews. It's like,
oh jeez,
Right.
they're like, oh yeah, at the end after his character died. Oh. They like realized what he did.
Oh,
I remember
man.
RFR was making fun of him. It's like, oh yeah, he died, she died, they over there, they all die.
Yeah, I do remember this. I do
Right?
remember this. Yeah. Yeah.
He like this big thing.
Yeah.
It's such a great moment.
Yeah, it's
Oh my gosh.
Man, I just love this design of the Star
that's
Destroyer
really
over.
cool.
Like this,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so cool, man.
so
Anytime you
badass.
see a Star Destroyer in atmosphere, it's so cool.
Yeah, because it just
Yeah.
really shows how big they are.
I remember reading about kind of Chirrut Inouye's purpose on this film, and it was sort of to replace that Jedi figure, like just to add in something that reminisces with the Force, because
Yeah.
I didn't think it was the first spin-off they did. They didn't want to kind of take too big of a step sideways and disregard like the whole Force like element to Star Wars in general.
I'm okay if they do that, though, to be honest.
I mean,
Yeah,
Solo
like they
ended
could.
up working out okay. Like,
Most of the
that's thing.
galaxy knows nothing about it. So it's like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like even just the fact that they mention like Jeddah as like an old Jedi temple and like the Kyber crystals and stuff like that, like I feel like that's more than enough.
oh yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, it's funny. I never noticed before, but they're playing the same chess game, but they have like cut out versions, not digital. Like
Oh,
carved, carved out of wood.
table,
The jar,
eh?
yeah.
the poor man's version.
Yeah. Like whittled their own pieces.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah, I
weirdest
like how they
tweet
got-
ever.
Yeah, I was just thinking.
Yeah.
Looks like he's halfway with the like the Satan people.
Hmm.
And then you get this
Satan
And then you-
people.
yeah, and you get that one guy there from Skyrim. The face paint.
Oh, yeah.
Shut up!
That was it.
Oh, It Man
It's
just
like-
gave him some wisdom.
Yeah, no kidding. A little.
So that guy is a brother. Is he like? I guess he can't be two tubes because the other guy's already two tubes.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got
He
three
just has to
tubes.
be like, I guess his name's just like Derek or something, like just normal.
Craig.
Bogalisher.
It's crazy how much his character changed, like from Clone Wars and now like where he's at in his later years.
He's kind of gone insane.
Yeah, he's gone insane. Yeah.
Like, it's weird because he's like, it's almost like he didn't know when to stop fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what they're trying to show with him. Because he just like, that's all he ever knew. Because that's all
Yeah.
came his entire life. So he just kind of, when he ran out of actual things to fight, kind of went nuts.
Yeah. His hair's not actually on his head in that, right? I think I remember seeing the Rogue One trailer, and I believe he was hairless.
He's hairless when
the
he
beginning.
rescues her.
Yeah, but it was in the trailer that they had a shot of this sequence, and the hair wasn't there. So either they did that over in the reshoots.
Might have been a reshoot, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of reshoots.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Josh, can you up the resolution again?
Yes, sir.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
No problem.
Much better. Just like wearing a flag.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, upside down. I forgot they did that.
Yeah, it was an interesting choice actually.
Because I mean, if it attacks a
prove that
planet,
there's no-
that's the angle it's going to take.
Yeah, and just to prove that there's no
Up.
such thing as as up in space kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you never see Star Destroyers flying around upside down.
Yeah.
The voice sounds right, but he talks too fast. I always feel like Tarkin talked really slowly.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that about Tarkin.
Yeah, I mean, I think I remember him not like talking that rapidly.
No,
But
there was a lot more emphasis in like what he was saying, so he like slowed down a bit.
yeah, I mean, he really didn't like say much in A New Hope, anyways.
True.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, didn't have that much, I guess.
I mean, I don't know, man. How would you feel after you had an octopus shove its tentacle,
Yeah.
rub its tentacles all over you?
Goodness. A little tentacle action.
I don't know. Maybe that's kind of normal for people in Star Wars. Maybe that happens kind of like monthly.
I mean, I guess they are really into the Twi'lek or whatever. Technically, their head things are tentacles, right?
Some of the best massage therapists, all they do is just attach all their tentacles to you and rub you around.
The best massage therapists are burgullets.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, they'll just.
Oh my god.
Oh no, not lying. No one's ever done that before.
What a monster.
Yeah.
We call it the anger sphere. There's no better name. No one will ever change this name.
We call it the murder ball. There's no better name.
How many variations do you think they went through?
So
See,
good.
Maybe that
in a
was just-
room, like they try to pick a name. Murder sphere.
The orb of doom.
There we go.
Oh, this is such a cool scene when the Death Star just eclipsed the sun here. Yeah.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Ooh, badass. Everyone looks at it and then they're just blind.
Yeah.
Just throws up.
Yeah.
They did such a good job.
This is
like,
great.
With the shots and stuff of the single reactor thing with the Death Star. Like not just from the surface here too, but like when they like take it out to space and stuff. Oh, it's so it's so
really
freaking
cool.
good.
So badass. There's no horizon. Works every time.
There's a lot of people online just saying that this movie was made to cover up that one plot hole, like that there would be a thermal exhaust port like on the Death Star that big.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, people were
I
talking
never
about
really
this
thought
for
it was a
long,
plot hole.
that-
Like
I never thought of it that way either, but I think a lot of people were like, why would there be like 1-2 meter wide hole like on this giant moon?
Sure, you would
size
think if
thing,
they
right?
exist to be more than one, and like if they knew it was that big of a deal, why didn't they have some sort of ray shielding on it?
Exactly, because we've seen ray shields so many times on ships with exposed entryways, right?
Yeah.
Like
Man, it's so cool. The thing is so big,
Yeah.
and it just looks like a painting.
oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's awesome.
Exactly what we were thinking.
Yeah, it's not wrong.
No, yeah.
What was the name of this one? Like a
Oh,
Z
the
wing?
U-wing?
It's a
E-wing.
U-wing.
Oh, the U-wing.
I thought that was an excellent addition to the lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's actually
yeah,
really
it's
cool
fantastic. It's such a cool looking ship too.
Yeah, they kind of make it like a gunship.
Yeah, exactly. Which makes sense that they would add something like that because it hasn't really been done yet for that lineup.
No, yeah. That moment where he's like, "I don't need you anymore," unclips his breathing.
It's also kind of funny to think they all run away and get on the ship, and then Saw Gerrera is just like too much. He's a handicap with all of his gear, so he like can't get out fast enough, and they just ditch him.
Yeah, I like that. Not a single member of his like little rebel cell like
Nobody.
came to go get him.
And
Like they just totally bailed on him.
Later.
See ya.
Also the first time we see hyperspace not in space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or wait,
Which I
they
had-
had this in
well-
Force Awakens though, didn't they?
Oh yeah, I forgot Force Awakens came out before
They-
this.
Did, but it was like that's supposed to be a big deal, wasn't it?
Well, they were in. He was in space, right? He was just in a ship in space.
We're talking about the blue line that trails behind, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know actually.
See, that's a great shot of Tarkin. It looks very
It looks a
realistic
lot
there.
better.
See, in this lighting, it looks very realistic.
Yeah,
My
it's way less
achievement,
waxy.
Not yours.
See, that sequence was pretty well done with Tarkin.
Really good. Yeah.
Very good.
If you're an Imperial, do you have to shave your mustache?
I think it's supposed to be code, sort of.
Because there's a lot. I feel like there's more Imperial mustaches in the original trilogy than this movie.
Really, I don't remember anyone with a mustache from the original Imperial.
The only person I remember was in the meeting room on the Death Star when Vader like chokes that guy out.
Yep.
One of the guys in there has a mustache. Yeah.
Admiral Ozzel had one too. He was in episode. He was the guy that comes out of hyperspace too early and gets choked to death.
I think
in Empire Strikes Back, there was the guy with mustache.
It's supposed to be the kind of thing that they have a code for, but I don't know. I guess some of them it's kind of a gray code area.
Maybe it's like a reward if you do well. You can either have a raise or have a mustache.
Well, I think in the military there are like facial hair like guidelines or like regulations or whatever.
Guidelines, like, that's the one I was talking about.
Because like you can have like certain kinds of like haircuts and stuff like that. They're like regulation haircuts, and so they're that like when you join the military, they give you a choice of like, oh, do you want your haircut this way, or this way? Because those are like the ones you're allowed. And so I think with facial hair, it's sort of the same way, except on like deployments or whatever.
But there's a reason for it. So because they have to have gas masks, right? So you need to actually make sure you can make a seal. So it's not going to leak and you'll get poisoned. It's the same as a lot of industrial jobs. So when I was working oil, I had to do that as well because we were dealing with H2S gas. So I had to shave every other day or else, I get called out by my boss or whatever. But that's the reason why. So there's certain mustaches you can have, but they're like the dad stash. Everything else you can't.
I had the same thing, but I couldn't grow facial hair at that point, so it didn't really even matter.
Dude, I never like growing facial hair because like it's mostly blonde, so you can't see it.
That's always funny. You're like, you see yourself in the mirror in the right lighting, like, yeah, it looks so good. And you see a picture of yourself later, I'm like, I'm so greasy.
Yeah.
You could always get some of that Just for Men dye, put that on there.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
and Bodhi Rook always looks so sweaty in this movie.
He does.
He's just real greasy.
Yeah, it's just such a greasy guy.
I mean, cut the guy some slack. He just had a freaking octopus all over him.
That's true too.
Yeah, he's the only one in the group who got a massage.
Yeah.
Just out of the steam room.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll mention it before so I don't forget, but I really like the strike team that gets sent out, like the rebellion like X-wing squadron that gets sent out to like shoot this place up.
Oh yeah.
Because I loved the old X-wing novels that were out like the late '90s and early '90s.
When I was a kid, like one of my favorite Nintendo 64 games was Rogue Squadron.
Yeah, I just recently replayed it.
It's a good one.
I just love that like to actually
Raider
see
feel.
To actually see like a mission being carried out by the rebellion. That's not really
Mm-hmm. Because yeah, other than like big like battles and stuff like that, because like there's in New Hope we see the battle with like the Death Star, and then in Empire Strikes Back there's a battle on Hoth, and so we never really see like the guerrilla them use like that guerrilla tactic, that raiding warfare and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what is really cool about this movie.
We never get
to kind of see that side.
Yeah, we never get to see like what the rebellion is doing during all this time, right? We only get to see like the peak moments of, oh, we've been doing all this all this stuff, and now the Empire is mad enough that they're attacking us.
Yeah, because so, I mean, other than Jedi, they're always on the defensive when we see them.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I really liked it, even though it's horrible for the main characters. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That guy looks like Frasier. Squadron up. That's a great phrase.
Also, one thing I noticed, like to make it Star Wars clothing, is you have to have the ribs on your arms.
Yeah.
Why is there not more clothing just with ribbing? I would just wear it all the time.
Yeah, dude, start your own clothing line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw these jackets.
Call it Alliance jacket, Alliance apparel.
Yeah, her jacket too.
Call it ribbed.
Columbia made some Rogue One jackets when we were
and they
down.
Were awesome, but they're all sold out.
Cool. Yeah.
Bummer.
All except for the Empire one, which wasn't as cool.
You gotta call it ribbed for Blake's pleasure.
RFBP.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
This is such a cool planet. Like Edu.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We last year me and my girlfriend made some crappy Rebel pilot outfits for Halloween.
I remember that. That was awesome.
Yeah, we had to make like the ribbing on the on like the vest things.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun.
It turned out really well, actually.
Yeah, they did.
That's awesome.
I personally, my favorite part was the helmets you guys made out of paper mache.
Yeah, those are really good.
That was awesome.
As I mentioned, so if you want any of your clothing ribified, just let me know.
You'll do it? All right, I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, I'll send you an order. Looking at this planet with all like the dark blue and everything, and kind of sci-fi, cool. It looks like it's almost
called? Edu, right?
Edu, yeah.
Yeah.
It almost looks like it's from Pitch Black.
I actually never watched that.
Dude, it's super good. Yeah,
I need to watch it.
It's Vin Diesel.
Yeah. I plan to watch the whole series. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks so much like Pitch Black.
That movie was so good. I love that series.
Oh man, amazing! I'm surprised he hasn't got another one yet.
Dude, yeah.
So he got the rights for it. He made a deal with Universal or whoever it was that if he was in the next so many Fast and Furious movies, they would, as part of the contract, would have to give him the rights to like Riddick.
Wow.
Yeah. So then the last one that came out, the one that was just called Riddick, he actually did that one himself.
Yeah, that one was really, really good. I liked that one a lot.
I liked it too. And a lot of people were like saying, "Oh, it didn't make a whole bunch of money," because it was the same time like Star Wars that came out made like $2 billion or whatever, and it made like 600 million. People were like, "Oh, it flopped," but he only put in like 200 million into it, so he actually was he was
made
up
a lot.
400. Yeah. So I didn't like even if you just keep it cheap, why not keep making more?
Right.
Oh yeah. So, in your opinion, though, is the original, so is Pitch Black a cult film, or is it more than
that? I'd probably say it's a cult classic. I've met very few people who haven't seen it and loved it, but it's also still not mainstream, so I think it's just the people I talk to.
Yeah.
I remember when I watched this movie, man, you can just get absorbed into just everything that you see because it's all new in a good way and not in like a way that puts you off. Like this doesn't feel like Star Wars sort of way. Like this whole movie, every time you go to a new planet or whatever, like you see stormtroopers, like actual stormtroopers, not like First Order pretend to be stormtroopers.
Troopers,
Yeah, and like Imperial scientists and stuff. Like, it's all so cool. Like, it just.
Oh yeah,
amazing.
they did such an amazing job, like with the, like we were saying before, with the world building. Like it's better in this movie than literally any of the other than like Solo. Solo did a really good job with that too. But the other, like the main sequels or whatever, I think they just did such a poor job.
Well, it's because those two and the Mandalorian are all based in George's Star Wars, not Disney's Star Wars, right?
As far as a setting.
As far as aesthetic, yeah.
Oh, so wait, so George, these two movies, so this one and Solo are both.
They're based in like the time frame of George's. Yeah,
I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah. Because I was gonna say, wait, George participated in making these movies? What?
Well, we find out he did Solo a little bit, that one sequence, but other than that.
Right. Yeah.
He did the cape scene.
The closet. They put him in a closet, and we're like, here, you can decide what happens inside the closet.
Also, I love the scientists here. If they go back to them, they're wearing just like these like bag ponchos. Look at them.
Yeah, so cool, right? It looks like they've been in like a vac room or something.
Yeah, I can see that. It's almost like a modern day like spacesuit almost. It's like a vacuum suit.
Yeah. Or like what are those like viral? I can't remember. That the suits that like the people that work with on viral infections and stuff wear, or like virologists or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's very, very similar to that.
I love the logo that they specifically designed for Death Star, like
technicians.
Yeah,
because it kind of looks like the beam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier when we saw it on his jacket.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the Imperial officer uniforms there too, kind of like the half cape that they have, or the like half poncho.
Yeah, it's interesting because it does seem very like 70s in design almost. It's like,
oh yeah, these like the hats especially, like that's such a 70s like throwback thing where it's like a not ball cap.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to do something different.
Yeah.
But not as streamlined as everything is nowadays.
Yep.
I've always loved that kill. I've always loved that.
Yeah. Grabs his blaster. Like, this is mine now. Thanks for holding this for me.
Stormtrooper just caught so off guard. He just doesn't even know how to react.
Yeah, he can't see anything, right?
Can't see anything with this thing on.
I can't see him.
Ruh-roh.
This music is great.
Oh yeah.
Strike team moving in.
I always remember like the points in the movie when I'd be most excited. Oh, like watching Star Wars movies is so exciting in theaters, especially in these moments when you get the X-wings flying and
dude, yeah. This scene in the movie is one of like my favorite scenes or whatever, probably from this whole movie.
Oh no! Kablamo!
Photon torpedo.
Scramble all ties! Scramble all ties!
I really like that hangar design too, at the side of the cliff.
It was like hanging.
Yeah.
I remember reading something about how they finally had to make a scale for the TIE fighter because it had never really been determined fully how big a TIE fighter actually was compared to...
No, because you never saw them outside of space. And
That's
like,
right, yeah.
being X-Wings. So,
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So I guess you could say you saw them next to like Star Destroyers, but that's kind of arbitrary too. And you could argue the distance.
They look like a pack or like a swarm of flies around a Star Destroyer, basically.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty accurate.
Yeah. I kind of missed the ow.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Josh, that's the scene. I was just thinking, like, I'm pretty sure there's a scene that Josh and I were talking about where two Death Troopers do like this, like, dancing.
Oh, yeah. There it was.
Yeah, that was it.
We laughed pretty hard at that. When we were
Yeah, they
watching.
do like a gun salute or whatever.
Yeah,
You do the back to back.
Yeah.
You're like, we're so cool. Oh my gosh.
It's cool. Yeah.
3, 1, 2, 3.
Like if Tanner, like if you guys were in the, if you guys were in this movie, you'd be those two Death Troopers.
Totally.
Yeah, that seems about right. Just like, I think they're like the coolest.
You guys would be like that old comic, with the two doofuses that are Imperial Guards.
Right.
Yeah, except it'd just be like the
Binks and Dink
Binks
or
and
whatever.
something, but it'd just be the Blake and Josh Death Troopers.
Yeah.
Yep, sounds about right. I can see that.
That's how we went to the expo a couple years ago. Matching shirts, jackets, helmets.
Fan Expo?
Yep.
Oh, yes, I remember this now. We had Stormtrooper helmets and then, like...
Yeah, our gear.
Yeah. Just, like, matching everything.
Matching everything. So good.
It was fun, though. It was like a business casual Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Pew pew. Just
I have to wonder
wasted.
if that blaster rifle is that amazing as like auto targeting and all this garbage. Why don't the rebels just issue that to every single one of their soldiers?
Because it's too expensive.
It's probably worth it though. I mean, look how many stormtroopers that guy just took out.
Yeah, man. I don't understand it. I kind of think, like, to what we were saying earlier, that like they didn't really need Donnie Yen's character in this movie. Like, they didn't really need him either.
It's true. I feel like he might have originally done more in the original draft.
Yeah.
But obviously that changes in time when they go through edits.
Yeah.
But you're right. He doesn't seem to do very much. He kind of just becomes that token Force character, and that's about it.
Yeah. But yeah, the guy with the blaster, he's that character that they add in like a post-release like DLC for a video game or something that's completely overpowered, and everyone's like, "What? This just broke the game."
What? And suddenly everyone's just playing that one thing.
Dude, it reminds me of that moment in The Last Jedi where they that rebel. Or, that resistance ship jumps to light speed to destroy the whatever ship or whatever. My brother and I watching it in theater, we just look at each other and we're like, why didn't they do that the whole time?
I know, right? Everybody was thinking that. You think there's got to be some reason why it's not been done. You think they've had hyperspace travel for like 1,000 years, and no one has ever thought to do that?
Yeah, man. Like, what the heck? Just totally broke the whole franchise. I was like, wait, so they didn't need to waste like a whole bunch of Y-wings and X-wings on the Death Star? They could have just killed it with one.
Yeah, they could just like suicided into it, or even just like unmanned.
I see where you're going with that. At the same time, like they with the High Republic, they kind of announced that hyperspace is like a new thing, which I don't know how I feel about that still, because the High Republic is only taken like it's only a couple years or like a couple hundred years before Phantom Menace. So it's really odd. Like the new way of like them saying like, oh, hyperspace is brand new. It's like, what the heck?
Because Star Wars traditionally it's just been around basically since the dawn of like the Star Wars era.
Yeah,
right?
There's
exactly. Never any history written before it existed.
Yeah.
Well, when is the Old Republic set?
It's like 1,000 years, I think, or over 1,000 years before Phantom.
And when's the High Republic?
200 years before the Phantom Menace.
So how does that make sense?
Yeah, then how do they travel?
Because there's like
exactly.
There's like very existing hyperspace travel.
I see. I don't know how. That's just something that's been kind of stated somewhere online. I don't remember exactly which source it came from. So
it was a Pablo tweet.
They still have, maybe they still have time to change things, but
so again with this moment, like such awesome like world building, like the shots that they have, like for Mustafar and Vader's castle here or whatever, are so freaking good.
I mean, I love this style of design, but let's be honest, this is just straight up taken from Lord of the Rings. Like this is Mordor.
Yeah.
For sure.
Barad-dûr.
Like, let's be honest here. Yeah, just like
Mount Doom.
Yeah. Like, oh, have you guys been to Isengard yet? Yeah, someone just like took over.
I like
Gandalf's still trapped at the top of that tower.
Gandalf's still up there.
Yeah, he's up
for
there.
real.
It should be someone should edit it. Just have like Gandalf on the eagle, like fly by.
Well, I loved this scene though with the Bacta tank.
Oh
that was so freaking cool.
I was so excited when we saw like Vader's body like this. Like, oh my goodness,
just like super burnt and like messed up.
Were you having a conversation about why people don't smash more ships into other ships with hyperspace?
Yeah, after Last Jedi.
I honestly, dude, I have no idea. That kind of broke the whole thing. Like,
I know.
As soon as they started doing that. Yeah.
It's like we're saying like, why has no one else ever bothered to try this?
Like literally, it disassembles the plot of like the entire franchise because
it could make Watto like the greatest terrorist of all time because he's got so many just abandoned ships he could launch at stuff.
Yeah,
for real.
Just build a fleet to destroy. Like,
yeah. I mean, it'd be so easy to do. Notice that his eyes are red.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do people that don't?
Yeah, they made that very apparent in this film.
Yeah, I don't know why they overdid it.
Yeah, I think they overdid it a little bit too. Because like there's supposed to be like a polarized lens or whatever. Because when
it
he
is
becomes
red.
Vader, when he becomes Vader, like the inside of the lens is red, and like it has a heads-up display and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And then in all the other movies, though, it's just a polarized black lens, which to me makes sense. But
they were talking about it, and they had referenced A New Hope. There's a handful of shots while you're on the Tantive 4 where you can see that it actually is red. But the problem is everywhere else in the series, you can't really tell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think they polarized the lens very well. Like, they could have kept it, like, red, like a red lens, but they just kind of did such a bad job polarizing the lens that it just doesn't... You can almost look through it.
Yeah, exactly.
James Earl Jones sounds older in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he is.
Yeah.
He's pretty... How old is he now?
You can tell
he's
that his
old.
Vader voice
like
is
80s.
getting a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I laughed out loud.
At this line?
At this line, yeah.
Oh, this was great. Director. Such an amazing so freaking
so
good.
Yeah,
man.
dropped an F-bomb. I was like, what?
Do you like that line then, Bryce?
I love.
Nah. Well, I don't know. I don't care. I don't
It's
care.
pretty cheesy.
It's
Yeah.
cheesy, but whatever.
Like, is it too
Darth
cheesy
Vader.
for Star Wars, or?
I've
It's
kind
fine.
of it didn't bother me, honestly.
It's not the worst that Star Wars has done. Let's be honest.
Probably not. I love that Badger guy.
Like, yeah, exactly. I'm like, what is that chick talking about? What is she there for if they're not there for a war? Like, what do they
true.
think this is?
What
Like,
have we been doing this entire time?
yeah. It's like, what did we get all these guns and
is-
starships for?
Who's that guy? What else is he in? He plays some pretty weaselly characters in a lot of like comedies and stuff, right?
Yeah, I can't remember. I've never seen them.
So do you guys think the rebels, when they get their rank, they just roll the dice and whatever they get, that's their rank?
There's only two. There's only like 3 ranks. There's no rank. There's captain, and then there's general.
Sure enough. Well, there you go. 3-sided dice, I guess.
Yeah.
I was gonna say this before, but do people that don't consume Star Wars think that when they see Darth Vader, do they see like a really aged sci-fi weird-looking character? Because I'm so used to Darth
Yeah.
Vader now, I still I think he looks cool,
Yeah, I think
Right.
so too.
but you know, like when I watch
That's some
Doctor
kid.
Who, and like
Yeah.
when someone's like a big Doctor Who fan, then I watch it. I'm like, look, these characters look ridiculous. Do people think that about Darth Vader?
I think so.
It's aged
I don't
really
know.
well.
I don't
I mean,
know.
he's got, ironically enough, he's got like a very modern look to it as well, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's
timeless,
just become
honestly.
it's just become so big that everyone knows it, right?
True.
Yeah. Like, when I look back at like the original trilogy and stuff, there's like certain things about it where I'm like, yeah, this is so old and cheesy or whatever, right? Like when they go through like the Death Star fire up sequence and stuff, and you see all the big clunky switches and buttons and stuff that was only in like the late 70s.
I love
like,
that. And like the,
yeah,
the
it's-
old school computers where everything is like 8-bit.
Oh yeah, but like when I know like with my little cousin or whatever, like he's a huge Star Wars fan too, and he doesn't care about any of that stuff. Like he
Right.
just loves the movies and stuff like that.
So the trick is to indoctrinate them while they're young, and they're just too late to question it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say for Vader though, I feel like his design is pretty timeless because
Yeah.
really he's just like a sci-fi skull and a samurai helmet, right?
Mhm.
Pretty much. Like it's a big
Yeah.
black cape, black jumpsuit. Like it's kind of not like, yeah, it's not like he's wearing like 70s like leisure suit and pants or whatever, right? With
It's
like,
it's kind of funny because like a lot of it's actually I would say it's more Star Wars fans that'll see a Star Wars design that they're not fond of and go, that looks ridiculous. Like,
Maybe. Yeah, all the normies. The normies don't say anything or have any problems.
yeah, exactly.
Those pouches they're wearing, by the way, I'm pretty sure those are for like paintball pouches
Yeah,
to hold extra paintballs.
or Nerf rivals.
well, they look like
Magazine.
pouches for old like submachine gun magazines, but
think,
that are
yeah.
extra long.
I think
Yeah.
that's what they're going for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, that initial senator guy who's like, we can't do it, we can't trust her. Apparently, he's the Minister of Finance for the Galactic Senate and the Empire. So I don't know why
okay.
they couldn't afford those guns.
That guy.
Interesting.
They got the Minister of Finance as part of the Rebel Alliance. Like,
Yeah.
He should have stolen some money before he left.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Siphon
no,
it off.
he's still the Minister of Finance. Like, he's secretly
Oh,
part of the Rebel
he's
Alliance,
secretly-
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a very powerful person for the rebels to have.
Yeah.
I love it.
So good.
I just realized that these ships, this ship here, looks a lot like the Federation dropships from Phantom Menace.
Yeah, it does. Like with that
Oh,
wing,
yeah.
those wings that kind of like go out to the
Theirs
side.
are
wing.
they're four flat wings that stick out, and these ones are vertical.
Yeah.
And they kind of tilt or whatever. But
Yeah, we don't see those ships again after the Phantom Menace, I don't think.
I always wondered why that was, because it was such a cool design.
It was
They're,
very, very cool design.
The Trade Federation invasion ships, right?
Yeah, the big, huge brown ones.
Yeah,
with the 4 wings and stuff. Those were so cool.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm trying to remember if they were in Clone Wars, but I can't remember if they actually were or not.
I don't think so. It was just like ditched. I don't know why. It was cool because they just had like
I don't know because
thousands of tanks.
I think I had a Lego set for one too.
It's
like
a very specific purpose that they come in on a planet just delivering like troops, right? Like the battle droids.
Yeah.
So
like,
I
they come
wonder.
in. Well, it's funny. It brings in the tanks that bring in the droids.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah,
you know what? I kind of want to see if there is a Lego set for it now because I'm probably like.
I don't think they made
not
one.
remembering. Yeah, I'm probably not remembering right because I know I had a Darth Maul ship or whatever, and then there was like the Naboo starfighters, but I don't think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was. There was. Yes, yeah, it did show up in Clone Wars. Yeah.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah, quite a few times. Quite a few times, actually. Yeah.
Really?
You know what it is? It's the very specific shot of it landing on the planet that you don't really see much of. Because now that I'm thinking back, I do remember seeing a lot of the ships, but they're like on the ground and opening up their doors and we do get them in Clone Wars quite a bit actually.
I like the design. It's pretty cool.
It is very cool.
H.
Look at those goggles he's wearing. They're just clearly from the pool.
Dude, I know, right? Can he wear them the whole movie? Like, literally, we never once in the entire franchise see any Imperial ever wearing those goggles. And he's like, these are my goggles. They will not leave my head.
This is my thing.
I don't even know why he would need goggles because he's a pilot, not a technician or whatever, right? Like, I would think that there would be like welding goggles. But those aren't keeping any light out at all.
No, yeah, like he's got the patch on his suit still that he's an Imperial. Like, I don't know why they need to have him keep goggles on to convince me that he's a pilot. Like,
maybe he's afraid to swim, so he wants to keep the goggles.
Okay, this is my favorite helmet in all of Star Wars: the gigantic, like, obnoxiously large black rimmed helmet. That's a goofy '70s throwback.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Every time I see that, I'm like, okay, that's the 1970s all the way.
So apparently kyber crystals to any other person other than a Force user sees it as just a clear crystal rock, but a Force user sees the color or whatever.
Oh, no way. That's cool.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I don't mind that.
I had no idea. I thought they were just
That's
a crystal and then
definitely
they
new.
turned them a color.
And then they added something about bleeding crystals.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really started making crystals like the kyber crystals. They started really giving life to them quite a bit, making them more like Harry Potter wands,
Yeah. I'd kind of like to see them do a movie or a series or whatever for Star Wars about a bad guy, like a Sith character or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that would be kind of cool to see.
I think that's why people love The Mandalorian, because he's kind of like, he's not your average hero, you know what I mean?
No.
So he's an anti-hero like Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why everyone loves Wolverine, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like he's just a badass, like, could be villain who just happens to do good things once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally gets forced into doing good things half the time. Like,
yeah,
right.
Straight up.
He's like, dang it, like, fudge.
Gotta help these people again.
Crap.
They look so World War II-esque, hey?
Yeah,
so
totally.
Saving Private Ryan,
Probably
like,
took
like
that
the-
helmet. It reminds me of the helmet from the second Alien movie, Aliens, that they used for the Space
Yeah.
Marines or whatever.
Colonial Marines, yeah.
Yeah, the Colonial Marines. That's exactly what I think of when I see
Hoorah!
those helmets, because yeah. Game over, man. Game over.
Space Marines, hoorah!
Yeah, you know what I half expect that kid, that guy with the helmet back there, he kind of looks like Ludacris, like from Fast and Furious. He's standing right next to Bodhi.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, or the other guy, yeah. So
Yeah.
so he just I just started thinking, I was like, I almost half expect Vin Diesel to just walk out of the crowd, like, and then he adds to the prep talk. He's like, we're gonna win this because we got family.
Yeah, we're a family here.
We got the Death Star plans because we got family.
So good.
The map on Battlefront 2 for Scarif is awesome.
Oh, it's so good. I love it.
It was actually a really
Squadrons
cool
comes out
idea to
pretty
do a planet
soon, eh?
like this.
Yeah, I like that it took them this long to decide to do a tropical planet.
It's
just
genius. It's new, right? It's because I mean the only other kind of tropical qualified planets we've seen are very alien tropical planets like
Felucia.
Felucia, right? Yeah, exactly. So stuff like that, and there's been a few others, but yeah, I mean just plain like Hawaiian look to it,
Yeah.
like never got that before. So
If
yeah,
I
it's
was
really
in the Empire, I would definitely try to get stationed here, because then when you're on leave, you can just go hang out on the beach.
yeah.
Dude, for real. Like the shore trooper job must
And
be
you wear way less armor as a shore trooper, right? Like you just
True. You can
don't
sit down.
necessarily. Yeah, you can sit down. Yeah.
so good, dude.
I actually really liked the shore trooper armor. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, I did too. I was gonna say though, for that shuttle, I kind of wish for this movie they had kept the old, like the original trilogy shuttle design.
Yeah, I always wondered why they did a different one instead of just using the classic Imperial shuttle.
Yeah, it makes me wonder.
Because
I think
if Krennic has his own, why doesn't Vader or the Emperor have their own? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone always wants to.
exactly.
They always want to one up all the other ships, but then it's like, what the heck? The Emperor was like going around in like a normal, shuttle. So what?
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like Kamino's a tropical world. There's just always monsoon season.
Well, there's no trees on Camino though.
There's no land.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what I'm
just
saying.
covered in water.
Yeah.
Wait, does that mean Kaminoans are aquatic? Or would they drown on their own planet?
I don't know.
I don't
Actually,
know, dude.
that's a good question.
Maybe they colonized it. Maybe they're not native to that planet.
No, they are. I think their backstory is that they had like a massive environmental disaster, and they only managed to survive by genetically altering all the bad things out of themselves.
Right.
And that's how they got into cloning.
Interesting.
So they decided that having gills was inferior, is what you're saying?
I don't know. Maybe they decided that. I'm pretty sure it was more like fighting each other is not great, so let's just take all aggression or weirdness out of us. So we all just cooperate so we can survive.
Right.
Oh wow.
Yeah, when I look at the Kaminoans, they seem to be the kind of thing. It's like the whole race just contributes to like the one goal of cloning for other people. So yeah, it seems to be like an extremely socialist kind of government that they have going on there.
Right.
It's like everyone pitches in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is it any different than the Trade Federation, where their entire race is about trading?
Yeah. Honestly, the Kaminoans are the most alien species. I think when I watch Star Wars, like they're the most kind of abstract, like out there.
Oh yeah, they're so socially awkward in the movies too.
They
could
feel
fit into
alien.
Star Trek pretty easily.
Yeah, for sure. I love how you can see the difference clearly. That so it's like just like, and then
Like,
the other
one's
guys
weirded out.
robotic.
Yeah, very true. There needs to be way more. I've always wanted more of an alien presence in the Rebel Alliance. Like you kind of get like this 95% human, and then like two weirdos.
Yeah.
Yeah, the token.
Yeah, it's like where are Like, there's got to be like so many more aliens in Star Wars, right? Like Rhodians.
Probably.
Like, I want to see some Rhodians. Like, when you play Star Wars Battlefront, it feels really cool because there's like tons of different, like, everyone has like different kind of alien characters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know, because like originally it was obviously just because of budget.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I think it's just because they're like alienist,
Yeah.
Yeah.
anti-alien.
Yeah.
Well, they want to make new toys.
You need to make more toys with aliens, though.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's not relatable enough for the kids.
Yeah.
This was cool. I kind of
Yeah, it
like
was
that they did
creepy.
this.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that was awesome.
It's funny as you say that, yet everybody loves Chewbacca.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
that's true.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, I guess he's an alien. Yeah.
I didn't think about
I
it.
like Star Wars aliens.
I mean, he's basically just like a big dog, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super intelligent.
yeah.
She looks so
I think this is the
goofy,
first
man.
time we ever see one of those helmets like open.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the open visor.
Yeah.
I mean, that
'Cause
was
it took me so
different.
long to realize that was the same kind of helmet that the Death Star technicians have.
No, it's different.
No, it's different.
Is it
right?
different?
It's different. Yeah, this one's way
Yeah.
smaller. The Death Star technician, the back sticks out like a foot and a half.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
it's
visor is much
similar
smaller.
though. Like
Front.
It's got the
Yeah.
like the upper. It's got the what do you call it? Underbite looking part
Yeah.
of the helmet.
the face shield.
Yeah. Like the giant
Yeah.
chin scoop.
Yeah. I like that. That was so good. It's like, wait, what?
They're like,
It's
what do we do?
not anymore?
Josh,
Yep.
it looks like Reed's not being recorded, FYI.
Oh no, he is. He is. I think it might just show up strange on yours.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Thanks for pointing that out, though.
Yeah. You always find it odd that Star Wars there's always a million crates just like scattered around all the time.
Yeah.
Well, they need to take cover from the stormtroopers behind something.
That's true. It's always a matter of convenience.
Yeah.
They're like, I mean, for a massive empire, they were super secure with these plans, right? Because they only ever I guess kept one copy, maybe like on a disk drive
Yeah.
or whatever, and just
Floppy,
passed
yeah.
it around. Yeah, like we've seen
Yeah,
it
it
go
sure
from,
seemed that way. I mean,
Yeah, we've seen it
Yeah.
go from Geonosis to
Yeah, I was
Dooku to
gonna say Dooku
Palpatine,
gets it.
now to
Well,
the
it's a
team
very
making-
like as advanced as Star Wars is. It's like there's no internet. Like
Right.
Yeah,
there's
it's
no like
true.
sharing online. Even in Star Wars, it's all done through like physical data, which is
Yeah, yeah.
really cool.
Yeah,
I'm glad they kept to that.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Very analog.
lo-fi. Yeah.
Look at- Dude's just exactly like a video game character, just hitting the dodge button.
It's like
Hit extra roll.
Yeah, exactly. Tap X twice to double roll.
I love those guys who are like the cart, like you're at the airport, and they have all like the fat people with the suitcases.
One of those guys always looks
Mhm.
very familiar to me. Like I've seen him in something. I feel like he's like a cameo. I feel like he's a.
Speaking of cameo,
I thought this was a great cameo. Like,
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
mhm,
such a cool shot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. That guy had like a rocket launcher. That was pretty cool. Oh yeah, they use it later. Yeah. And
There
right
you go.
All right.
that implying they were trying to use the left hand?
Or his face, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like there was another shot there that they cut out.
Yeah. Yeah. This was I love the AT-ATs in this. This was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are these ones called? They have a different name to them, don't
I
they?
think they're ATCT? All-terrain cargo transport?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
yeah,
a trench,
right.
yeah. That's something for cargo.
Yeah, they're
that's
designed
why
for
they got the
carrying
different panels.
They're designed for carrying
Those containers.
Yeah.
They have like
They're
ship
full
containers.
of more crates.
Right, yeah.
More crates.
More crates, yeah. The Empire loves their crates.
That's true.
Admiral Radish.
Radish, yeah, that's all I hear. It's supposed to be Radus, but it's just every time I hear it, it's Radish.
Gold leader.
Man,
Yeah,
Red Gold leader in this
Red Leader.
movie are so great. Like
We
So
cheered out loud
awesome,
with
dude.
that. That was so fun.
Yeah.
I love how they used like unused footage of them just to like put in.
I know, dude. It's so crazy.
And they
I love
cleaned
that.
it up really well.
Yeah,
So funny.
dude.
Like that cameo is my favorite part of this movie.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah,
love
for
that.
sure.
Josh, if you remember when we were at Star Wars Celebration and we went to the behind the scenes for that, John Knoll did the breakdown. He was saying that the footage for the X-wing behind them was all really terrible, so they had to cut out the pilots and replace them into the CG backgrounds.
Yeah, yeah. I think I do remember that. Yeah, they did a great job just cleaning up those guys and
Yeah.
Oh,
so good.
This poor guy.
I mean,
Oh, dude,
like
right?
if you think about it, they've got to hold up to 4K footage, right? Like
Oh, this poor guy.
and 4K CG. Oh man.
Dude, so from the moment they introduce like Gold Squadron or whatever, like for the rest of the movie, it's just like nostalgia overload after nostalgia overload.
Yeah.
Like there's so many moments past this point where it's just so awesome.
It's super badass.
The whole ending of this movie is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Such a good job.
I love how they worked in the whole concept of like having physical plans into this plot because of that shield. It's like the data's too big to actually transmit, so we can't beam it up and make another copy. Like it physically has to be like transported like on the drive that it comes from, right?
Yeah.
So it like leads into that whole thing of like they just stole the plans. It's like they literally just stole the plans. Like they didn't just make a copy of the plans and run away. Like they stole it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just shoots her.
He was playing the long game.
Yeah.
All the sand around the ATCs or whatever. What do you call them?
ATCTs.
ATCTs, yeah.
I don't know if that's accurate.
It looks
but
great. It looks great.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, ILM's really good at sand.
yeah.
It's funny. I mean, like same with the explosions from was it Force Awakens?
Yeah.
The sand
And
looks amazing in that movie.
Attack of the Clones,
Yeah.
like all the sand on Geonosis. Like
Yeah, dude. I feel like they really figured it out when they're working on the Pirates of the Caribbean series.
yeah, that's a good point.
Who figured what out on the Pirates of the Caribbean?
Oh, look at that
Industrial Light
mustache.
Magic
Oh, okay.
figured out how to do sand simulation.
Like he still looks so greasy. Like why does he always look greasy? He's a pilot, dude. He's
think
a
it's
pilot.
the
Like,
air.
he should
Time
be
to
like,
shower.
you know, like
Yeah.
Yeah, clean.
I don't see any of the other X-wing pilots look that greasy.
Yeah,
Nope.
in the military, pilots are typically ranked as like officers, or they're like a higher Rank,
Yeah.
and a lot of other.
And then there's Bodhi Rook.
Yeah, and then there's him. And he's just like, you know what? Screw you, Empire, making me like maintain hygiene and all this other crap. I'm gonna defect to the rebels. They won't make me do hygiene.
Yeah. Oh man!
I love that sound effect.
Dude, no, it's so good, man.
The monkey shriek.
I love how the subtitles say
right there. That
Badass.
shot has to be some of the best VFX in this entire movie.
Oh man,
It's
so
so
good.
yeah.
It's so good.
Cool.
Whoever.
Yeah, the whole like end of this movie. How much of the movie is left? Like the whole end of this movie is just awesome.
Yeah.
Imagine being the artist that did that. Incredible.
Man, that'd be crazy. I enjoy how the door is like going like a bank vault, or like Professor Xavier's door to getting into the what's it called now? I forget the name of it. The sphere dealy.
Yeah. I love how uninterested he was. He's like, I think the rebels ran over there.
He's like, oh well, it was worth a shot.
Also, I just noticed that. Oh, this is some of the shots, some of the old footage.
Yep.
You know, I didn't even know that till now that you guys just told me that. I never realized they used old shots.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. They use
they're not CG. They're remastered footage.
Remastered footage from 1970. Was it six?
7, 6,
77, yeah.
6 or 7, yeah.
They would have probably filmed it in 76.
Yeah, I would imagine.
That's awesome.
Bodhi and Melshi.
There, that guy. He looks like Ludacris.
Yeah, dude.
The master switch. Where is it? We need some more NAS. Yeah, the U-wing is such a cool.
It's a cool design.
Such a
I love
cool
it with the
ship,
folding wings. I always love that.
I've always loved drop ships that like bring the troops in and then they just go away again. Like I've always loved ships like that, like the Lat gunship. Especially the Lat gunship that carries the Walker, like the Republic Walker that deploys.
It's like
those
the long
so
version.
cool, man. I love those. I always wanted that in Lego and never got it.
That's because it was like $400.
Yeah, it was expensive, man.
That shot
with a Walker.
That shot is such a great addition.
Which one?
How Red 5 just got blew up.
Like,
Red 5
getting
shot down.
Because it opens up the
call
position,
sign,
right?
Yeah, opens up the call sign.
Yeah. Poor guy. He's just some like chubby little like Asian.
I know. It's like Porkin's nephew.
There's still speculations on what those other code names will be used for, like under the Imperial projects. Like, there's still people online being like, like what could these be for? You know?
Black Saber.
Yeah, Dark Saber or whatever. Yeah.
You guys know that that novel or whatever called Death Trooper or something? That was like the Star Wars zombie novel. I wish, because I think they called that project like Blackwing or something like that in that novel. I wish they had put that as one of the project
a good one.
names.
Yeah, that would have been
so funny.
I would so be down to watch a Star Wars spin-off movie that was just based on Death Troopers.
Yeah, dude. It'd be so freaking good.
Original Death Troopers? Like the zombie Death Troopers?
The zombie Death Troopers.
Yeah. Like, that book was so cool. Like, it was
cool. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I listened to the audiobook, and I remember I was on the train, and the audiobook has all these, like, sound effects of like sloshing noises and like goopy kind of stuff. I just remember just like all of a sudden, because I'm on the train, it's moving. I'm hearing all these noises of like zombie stuff, and I just got super nauseous. And like I started like, feeling faint, and like I was nowhere to sit. It was full, so I had to sit on my suitcase. So I was gonna just pass out on the train on the way to the airport.
What the heck? I mean, that audio.
I remember specifically doing that.
I gotta listen to this audiobook now. I only ever read the original book. This is going on my reading list.
No, it's
just
really
the
good.
one. Yeah.
And you even get like a crappy Harrison Ford impression.
Yeah,
guy who does that.
They do a good job with that. Yeah. No, K2.
I remember thinking to myself, okay, this is it. This is where they all start dropping like flies.
Oh, Josh.
Because you never see any of them. You never see any of them like in the next.
I mean, like, you knew that kind of going into this movie.
Yeah. Man, Bryce, your corn dog is just making me hungry here.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, this movie in some ways reminded me of like Empire Strikes Back and how like dark Empire Strikes Back was, because that movie is just like, there's really no, like, other than like Luke living at the end of the movie, there's just like, it's just constant like loss after loss in that movie.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
True.
And yeah, this movie is
I
just...
can think of another Star Wars movie like that. Last
What'd you guys...
Jedi.
What do you guys think of this tie design? We're just got the one wing. It's like a fighter jet.
Oh yeah, what are those called again?
TIE strikers, I think.
TIE striker, I think. Yeah,
and they're for only in atmosphere.
Yeah, I like that. I think that makes sense to me because they
cool.
look like they're designed to be used in atmosphere. Like they're one of the few,
like fighters, right? Like jets.
Yeah.
Like
they look like small. Like they look even like smaller and lighter and more nimble than the like normal TIE fighters, and they already look pretty light.
Yeah, I always thought it was pretty sweet.
Actual TIE fighters are actually quite large, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Like
no, yeah, they are actually. Big, I think.
Yeah.
Like you think,
like they're the only thing about them though is that they don't have like the hyperdrives or whatever.
And the shields.
None of them
shields
do.
are hyperdrives.
And shields, yeah.
Darth Vader's is the only one that has it.
Yeah, and it's got a giant bolt, just literally just a giant block sticking out the back end.
Exactly. I'm starting to wonder then, why don't they use these TIE strikers more often? You never really see them again, except for on this one planet, which is kind of weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're not designed to function in space.
No, but I mean, you think they have them on planet, so I'm thinking like even like Mandalorian, you see them get in the ties and stuff all on planet, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I wish there's like lots of cool stuff that they brought into this movie that I wish they did more, like the Death Troopers. I wish we saw. Well, I mean, we see them in Mandalorian, but I wish we saw them like a lot of stuff in this movie more often.
Oh,
like
I love this guy.
Yeah, Stormtroopers are just owned instantly.
Yeah, like, are they called? Are they possibly called TIE Reapers?
It's not strikers.
Yeah, no, it's not TIE striker. It's a TIE Reaper. Yeah.
Reaper.
So,
okay.
Yeah, because I just looked them up. I think striker might be another one then.
Right. Well,
can I just say she has the exact clip that she needs on her belt to clip that thing on there?
Oh yeah, right. Everyone's got a cover tech clip.
Yeah.
Man, living in a galaxy in which cover tech is everywhere, like, amazing, amazing.
So good, man.
Just paying homage to a lightsaber there.
Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the new TIE Reaper will be in the new Star Wars Squadrons game.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. So it might not be just in atmosphere ship after all. Actually, come to think of it, which is strange because I think I remember hearing that.
That's what I thought it was, and that's why you never saw it anywhere else.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
I wonder what'll happen with that. Yeah.
When's that game come out? That's in like a week,
This
right?
Friday, actually. As of this recording, it'll come out this Friday. So.
Hey, you'll have to tell me how it is.
Oh, sick!
October
I forgot. I bought the game and I forgot when it comes out. Well,
couple days to go.
Yeah, that'll be super fun.
No! Thwack! Thwack!
Yeah.
Does he have a shiny version of a DL44?
The Krennic?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know actually.
Well, the vacuum on his back.
I don't know what it is about flailing people in the air with capes, but I always think it looks so funny. Just like the capes flapping around. Yeah. That's the one thing out of Battlefront 2 I love doing is just going in with Luke Skywalker, ground pounding like the ground, watching the Emperor just like fly away in his robes.
Oh my gosh.
That's why it's so funny when Yoda like force pushes Emperor Palpatine
exactly.
in that door.
That too.
And his little Emperor robe just rides up,
and he just like falls over the chair.
Yeah, Emperor like lands in that chair, all like completely upside down.
Yeah. I just thought Admiral Raddus was such a cool character. Like, I like the idea that there's another
there's more Mon
calamari guy. Yeah, Mon Cal.
Yeah.
Because I think their entire ship looks like it's run by Mon Calamari.
I think a majority of the Rebel Alliance fleet was just Mon Calamari ships, right?
Yeah, well, it didn't. In one of those comics that you gave me, Josh, about the Darth Vader comics, one of them focuses on Mon Calamari, doesn't it? For like a substantial part of the comic.
Yeah, I think it was in one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and it talks about like the siege and kind of their failed invasion of the planet, and that the Mon Calamari, like their cruisers or whatever they called them, like they couldn't defeat them, and like they escaped, and that's what formed the nucleus of like the Alliance fleet. Basically, was those Mon Calamari merchant ships that they converted into cruisers.
Yep.
I can see that.
Yeah, they did. If you read that comic again or whatever, like it was pretty cool. Like I really liked it because I was like, oh wow, that's kind of cool how they like tied that in.
That was a really good part of that comic. Yeah,
it's an awesome series. That was a pretty sudden death.
Yeah. Sudden death.
KO. GKO.
I have to say the comics have been pretty strong. Like,
they have actually,
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of where the novels have been lackluster.
I've never understood why Death Troopers talk that way.
Scrambled.
Yeah.
Well, I think typically with like special forces units or even like law enforcement or any military, they have encrypted comms.
Yeah.
And so to me, I think it made sense because could just be like an encrypted like communication, pretty much. Yeah, encrypted audio, basically.
I wonder then if the other Death Troopers, it like unfilters it.
Oh yeah.
I wonder.
Exactly.
Probably just filters it so that they can't hear what they're talking about, right? So
exactly. Yeah.
Flank to the left. Well, so it just garbles it, so they can't.
They actually, like special. I know, like modern special forces, like they use like their own like terms for different things. Like instead of saying like enemy grenade, they have a specific word like for when an enemy grenade like is close by to you, or they have a different word for when they're throwing their own grenade toward the enemy.
When I first saw their ship, I was so like excited.
Oh yeah, the Hammerhead, Old Republic ships.
Yeah, man, Old Republic. Some KOTOR.
Oh wait, that's a ship that existed before this movie?
Yeah. They made a KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic from the 2001 game or whatever, 2000.
That's awesome. Because I was just like, oh hey, look, the Rebel Alliance fleet is just so big and diverse. They just happen to have the exact right ship for this moment.
Right?
Yeah, they've got a few of them, but not many. But yeah, it was such a cool thing to see.
It was originally the precursor to the curling class, like Tantive 4, you see in New Hope. That was the idea they're going for.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's still like Carillion, right?
Is it? Okay.
I think so.
It's like a Jedi cruiser or something.
Or maybe it's like Rindali shipyards or something. I'm gonna look it up.
Oh yeah, here's where they finally have to beam the plans. Like,
Oh yeah, it's Rindali. Yeah, I was right.
Man, this
was
was
such
so
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, I love this.
oh yeah, shears off the top.
Yeah, honestly. Whoever pitched this idea, like, you gotta
Like
give props. It's so badass.
Oh yeah,
What a
dude.
great
Like,
shot.
the shots that they do in this movie are freaking amazing.
Yeah,
because it's
for
not like
sure.
they could just have like generic like shots of Star Destroyers like we've seen like 100 times before. Like that's kind of what I felt like with the sequel movies, is that they like show you shots of those new Star Destroyers or whatever they call them now, but they're just so like uninteresting. Like they don't do anything with them. It's just like, oh hey look, it's this new like first order looking Star Destroyer in space, and then that's it. Like you don't like nothing.
Yeah.
They have nothing else to do with it.
Yeah.
Do some actual cinematography with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that is definitely a shiny DL44.
That's hilarious. I've never noticed that.
I never noticed it before now either. I was just looking at it. I was like, wait a second. It's kind of different though.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
it
let's
is.
take
yeah,
it
it's-
like with drums.
I can see
It's-
where you're going with that though. It's got the scope on the side and everything.
It's got the scope mounted on the side, but yeah, it's got like a couple fins and like a drum on the back of it.
Focus! Focus!
Pew pew.
Finish him off.
Do it.
Where are those droids?
Oh, I didn't notice that like poor Hammerhead ship still stuck in there.
Oh no! Poor guy.
And he's gone. Dang it.
Sacrifice.
No
think that's-
sacrifice,
That's
no
like
victory.
the whole purpose of this movie is like, yeah, like the whole idea behind this movie is that, you know, it just clearly depicts like how much the Alliance sacrifices at times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially because they don't really have the people to do it.
Yeah.
Double tap!
I always like this song at the very end. It's such a good song. This music.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. It's like the original.
Oh, yeah.
The original visuals and stuff. They did a really good job keeping to a lot of like the original visuals
continuity,
and stuff.
yeah.
The content. Yeah. Massive object. That's no moon.
He looks pretty good here too.
Is it just that first sequence that looked a little rough?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Like with the reflections and stuff like that, I felt like
looks
they
so cool.
kind of.
Like sometimes he looks a bit floaty. Like the animation is a bit like for some reason they tried to make it look like he was like always moving, but I don't think humans are quite like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because yeah, I mean they're the Imperials, right? Like they always are like standing at attention, like super rigid.
Yeah, he's always like twitching his face in this. Yeah, I find, yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost
That's
like
not
they tried
good.
to make him too active. Oh, that was awesome right there.
Yeah.
Man, that line, that was great. I wonder if that was recycled audio.
I feel like
or
they
not.
just pulled it from New Hope.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Pew pew.
Oh man, can you imagine Krennic just like knowing like, well, we're boned.
Yeah.
They did not recycle them. It is slightly different.
This moment is so cool. I love this.
Oh,
and then
shoot.
it crashes into him. Like,
it's pretty badass.
That transport smashing into it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, yeah, grinds along the side.
So cool, man.
I love how
So
Vader gets
sad.
there late and
Just how ruthless. Like, even though he's just a normal Star Destroyer, it's still just like how much more like ruthless they portray it and stuff. It's just so awesome.
Also, I think it's just that all the people on his ship are just so much more well trained.
Yeah,
so they can wreak a lot more havoc.
Yeah.
Well, Star Destroyer is more powerful than that whole Rebel fleet.
Yeah, but I mean, there's those two other Star Destroyers that were pretty useless.
Well, that's plot armor. There's plot armor for that fleet, and now the plot armor is gone.
Are you saying Vader's people aren't slightly better? He's not going to have the elite like the 501st?
Yeah.
I think because he would handpick all of his own people, I would think.
Oh, yeah.
like a high-tech nuke.
Yeah.
Pretty much, man. Oh, there's the original. Finally.
Yeah, at least they
original
used
transport. Yeah.
2 bombers on escort. Interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is probably the coolest part of the entire movie.
Pretty much. Like,
yeah.
I just watched an entire movie of just this.
Oh, yeah, dude, yeah. Sure. This scene, like, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, the rest of the back, like, the last half hour of this movie is just a nostalgia, like, massacre.
Yeah. It's like, and even this, I know people that don't like this.
What?
Like,
what?
I'm like, why
that
don't?
Doesn't make sense.
I'm like, I will eat fan service up. Like, I'm a fan.
Dude,
I wish to be serviced.
Yes.
Because we've never actually seen Vader just slaughter through rebels before.
No, yeah. Like, that's what I want to see. I want a movie about, like, Vader or about, like, some other Sith character that where they just, like, ruthlessly are cutting down. Like, if we had, like, a movie about Vader, like, after Revenge of the Sith or something like that, yeah, that would just be so awesome.
I would love that, honestly. But the problem is I wouldn't do it because the main character would be a bad guy.
Yeah,
that was
I
Gareth
mean, like,
Edwards right there, right?
Dang, what was that?
That was Gareth Edwards right there, right?
Yeah, he was the guy who got through the door and then closed
saves
it.
The director of the film saves the rebellion.
Yeah.
Wow, what? I didn't know that.
I have to build a statue of him somewhere. That
I did not know he did that.
Yeah, that was Gareth Edwards.
I've lost so much respect for that guy.
He put himself as this guy who single-handedly saved the rebellion.
Yeah.
And overthrew the Empire. He
it's
was
like when
the
Josh
linchpin.
makes himself the main character of all of his.
I think you and Gareth would get along pretty well.
Yeah, I think so. Buddy.
When she's not talking, it doesn't look that bad.
No, yeah,
it's okay.
She's talking, it doesn't look good though.
You know what I found interesting is that they reused that same asset later on for Last Jedi when they remastered like the hologram that R2 has of Leia, like when he brings it out to show Luke on his isolation.
They use this model?
They used that model and recreated the hologram. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the hologram of "Help Me, Obi-Wan Kenobi." You know, yeah. So they took the same audio, and then I noticed that in the shot, like in the Last Jedi, like when I was watching the film, I was like, "Wow, that hologram looks good." And then I was like, "Oh, they totally must have used like the same exact model, right?" Because
I mean,
it was for that same sequence. Like, yeah, it was for that same costume set and everything. So
yeah, like, why wouldn't they?
Yeah, exactly.
I want to say that last sequence is such a like a well-oiled kind of like example of I don't know, like the way that it went from like a combat to just so subtly flowing onto like the Tantive 4.
Yeah,
like you don't even realize they've gone from one ship into another ship, right? And it's so smooth, it's so well hidden. But then once you realize what has happened, that now the ship's like escaping, it's like really satisfying. I really like that ending sequence.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah,
that's what.
It's a well-oiled ending. Yeah.
Like, I think they really knocked it out of the park, like in terms of like cinematography and like visuals in this movie. Because like to what we were saying earlier, like with all the shots and stuff of the movie, like the world building is amazing, and like just the way, because it's all like, it's Star Wars, right? We've all seen Star Wars before, but they did such a good job of like showing it to us in like a still like an interesting and like compelling way. That's why I enjoyed this movie so much.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, and we see so many planets too, like in the film. Like we see an incredible amount of locations. Like over 6, I think there's like seven different locations that we see in this film, which
I've noticed that's kind of been a thing for a lot of the Disney movies. They seem to go to more planets, I find.
Well, I mean, in general, I mean, Revenge of the Sith, I think, has the most kind of featured.
Yeah.
But we kind of, a lot of those are just kind of like, you know, like the Order 66 snapshots and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know if that counts. And they also recycle a lot of planets. Like, how many times do we go to Tatooine?
Through the prequels, and you get it at the end there again. But yeah, I mean, there was, I mean, a New Hope, all you get is Tatooine and the Death Star, and that was pretty much just because of for budget reasons, right? And well, I guess you get Yavin as well. You get Yavin, but I mean, you know, it was primarily most of the movie. You get just like the 2 featured places there.
I don't mind that though with less planets, because then I feel like you get a little more intimate with that planet, and you get more views instead of just a quick 10 to 15 minute.
That's the reason why I like the Phantom Menace too, because like you get so much more of Tatooine and Naboo in that film. And I think we actually talked about that during that commentary. But
I think I remember saying
so good.
Yeah, like I remember saying, like, that's what bothered me in Force Awakens, is that all the new quote unquote new planets that they showed us, like there was nothing for us to connect to at all. Like they showed us basically a glorified bar that was what's her name's castle or whatever, and like that was like the most that we got out of that entire planet, even though it was like such an important like segment of that
castle.
movie. Yeah, Maz Kanata's castle,
and you never saw it again. Like I was thinking, like Maz Kanata, when they announced the cast for Force Awakens, they put so much emphasis on Lupita Nyong'o's casting, right?
Yeah, I remember that. They made such a big deal.
And her character and everything, and like the action figure and toys were available. This Maz character.
At last, we have a female Yoda.
Yeah, and exactly, that's how they promote her. I remember the comparison being made as to Yoda, because she was also
40 years
supposed to be
of
really
fans
old.
asking, why can't Yoda be female? We have Maz Kanata.
It's like, we got Yaddle. That's a female Yoda.
Well, yeah, and like even in the movie, her character was so like important for like building up Rey and like the other characters and stuff, and they like. Again, that's why I hate Last Jedi so much, and the movie after that is bad too, because they just flushed it down the toilet.
I love, honestly, I think Josh and you and I talked about this. The Maz Kanata's like cameo in Last Jedi, it's so like, oh, we have to put her in there, because it's like, what do we do? Let's call Maz Kanata on the phone.
It's almost like they wrote the whole movie,
casted
the whole movie, and then Kathleen Kennedy comes along. He's like, oh. But we still have Maz Kanata, Lupita Nyong'o's character, and then Ryan Johnson's probably like, all right, well, just stick her in.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. I was gonna say, like, let's give her a call. They call her up. Hey, Maz, we need some help. I'm like, I'm kind of busy. Just like, ask someone else, and she just jetpacks away.
It was she was sorting out a trade dispute or something. A workers dispute. It was like a workers dispute in her castle. Yeah,
friggin' unions.
Like, a union dispute. That's what it was. Yeah.
What?
Oh my goodness! It's like straight out of like it's like a joke out of Shrek 2 or something.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Hey, buddy, we're from the Union.
It makes you wonder though, what did they cut that
Like,
might have
it's like-
actually been important, and they kept that.
Like, I know, it's like in the background you hear one of the aliens like, "We only wanted dental."
an extra $1 an hour.
Yeah. Freaking Maz. You're not getting it. Just firing.
Just guns them down.
The real reason she had Luke's lightsaber the whole time.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, she played a bigger part in episode 9, but I think that was in part because JJ made that character
It makes
and
sense.
then wanted to reuse the character again. Yeah,
The salvage operation.
Yeah, like all the characters from Force Awakens arguably are JJ's characters, right? So
Yeah.
because he was co-writing the script, but I mean when he did episode 9, it's like she had a bit more in there because she was at the Resistance base the entire time, and
I can't even remember her in the movie.
Yeah, she was the one who had she also presented Chewie with the medal again.
Again.
Yeah.
I do not remember this.
At the very end of the film, she gives Chewbacca the Yavin medal that.
I remember
Han
that at
and
the
Luke
end
get.
of 8.
And they've already established that Chewie
9?
gets a medal in a comic book.
7?
Yeah, it did. But I mean, how many people didn't know that?
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know that, but it's just like that was so against Star Wars fans as opposed to like servicing people that wanted to just watch a good movie, and that's why I like this movie so much. Like Rogue One is awesome because it actually integrates itself into the saga so much.
So well,
and it does,
so
and it
seamless.
does. Yeah, and it does so much fan servicing. Like, and Solo was like kind of the biggest, like, whiplash because that was like, oh, like Maul's back. A lot of people like didn't even know that the character was back, and most of the fans that watched like Clone Wars for so long, and even Rebels as well.
They're like, oh, cool, we
knew
get to see him live action again.
Yeah, it was a perfect insert between those two shows that he's in, right? And so like a lot of like casual viewers went to the theater and or just fans that just didn't see the animated, because I know Reed, you haven't seen the animated shows, but but like it was
I still
kind
of knew about Maul.
Exactly. So like if you have any kind of like if you're in tune with anything Star Wars, usually you probably would have known like, oh, Maul's back, right? But yeah, I mean a lot of casual viewers didn't know that, and then they went to the theater and he was like, oh,
super
this character.
confusing.
Yeah, I think that's what I like about like Solo and this movie so much is that like they're not like fan servicing movies where they're like taking like a mainline movie or something and then trying to like implement a bunch of things to it. It's taking like small things that are only really mentioned in the main movies, like the Kessel Run, or like in New Hope, like they mentioned like getting the Death Star plans and stuff. They just take teeny tiny like semi-important plot points like that, and then there's enough creative freedom for them to work with that they've been able to make like these really like cool, interesting movies and stuff. So
it does make me wonder though, what are they going to do Rogue 2 and there's all Bothans and they're stealing the Death Star 2 plans?
Dude, right? I was like, I want my Bothans. I don't think we've seen a Bothan once in this entire franchise.
Call it
the only
Rogue
time
2.
I've seen Bothans was in the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 game when you could play as the Bothan spies.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think people are going to be very surprised at what Bothans look like when they see them in the movies. Like,
probably.
People are like,
so
oh, what does spies
surprised.
look like? Oh, they're sneaky. They're probably
No.
dark.
They're
and
gonna,
like,
dude.
no,
They're gonna
it's a
cast.
camel.
You know who they're gonna cast as the Bothan spy? The main Bothan spy is gonna be John Cena because you can't see him.
There you go.
Well, I think that with the Bothans though, like when they have their little thing in episode 6, they're not actually stealing plans. They're getting intel. So I think it'll even be
Right,
more
yeah,
like
because they just had to find out where it was. They didn't have to...
It was the whole thing about the Emperor and the Imperial fleet that was gonna, attack from the other side of Sullust or whatever. I don't know. It was what was it again? It was something like that. But Anyway, so Rogue One. I mean, good film.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's definitely easily it's my favorite, I guess, since all the Disney films. It's easily at the top of my list.
I felt like I didn't have as much to say for this movie because I liked more of it.
Yeah, dude, we've been talking about all the other movies and stuff like that.
So much
it's kind of like, even with Solo, I think we liked that movie, so there wasn't a lot that we talked about with that movie.
I mean, like with the prequels though, like I think like we've all seen them so many times that like we're kind of better at like not being absorbed as much into the film while we chat, I guess. But
yeah, exactly.
We know so much behind the scenes on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's been around longer, so
sense.
more information's just been around, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one. We got A New Hope coming up. And,
going into the original trilogy, and I know Bryce, your knowledge in this era is going to be indispensable.
Yeah.
maybe my knowledge in all things that are happening outside of the movie that are now irrelevant.
Yeah, exactly. Just spew it off if you're going to be around. So hopefully you guys all are able to make the next one. But
I think I'll definitely be around for the next 3. But I think.
Maybe not after that.
I'm pretty booked up for whatever 3 days we're gonna do those last 3.
I think.
That being said, I think the commentaries could be very intriguing.
I think I have.
It could be a lot of fun.
I have piano lessons on all 3 of those nights. So.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna freaking. Oh my gosh, like Force Awakens, like I don't think I'll tear into it too badly, but if we get to Last Jedi, I'm gonna be eating that one alive, dude. Like, I have not seen that movie since it came out, but I still so vividly remember all the things that I hate about that movie.
Yeah.
You know what I've never tried doing is watching Rogue One, and like watching that sequence back to back. Like how
straight in,
flows. Yeah, like straight in. Yeah.
I've done that a few times now, and it's
Josh has been there, done that.
It's the only way to do it now for me. Like I can't do it, but it also is a really hard transition because like the pacing is so much slower for A New Hope.
Oh yeah, just the modern editing style.
Yeah, and it's straight because like at the time when that one was done, it was
fast for its time.
Fast. It was so fast. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember George was saying that the editors they didn't like it because it was cut too quickly. They couldn't follow what was happening.
Yeah.
Right.
The producers.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, thanks for coming on, guys. I guess we'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was great. Thanks for having me on here. Had a fun time.
Yeah, it was great.
All right, thanks guys for participating once again because the show is much more entertaining when friends participate, when you got guests and co-hosts and all that stuff. So for all you listeners at home tuning into the show, if you listened this far, just a couple seconds here as I want to just ask you guys if you can give us a 5-star rating or share this podcast with a friend. Follow us on Twitter at SW Escape Podcast. It's in the description below, along with many other different ways that you can connect with Star Wars Escape Pod. So just maybe consider that if you've tuned in. If you like the show, that really helps us out a lot. If you can bump up the ratings there, it gets us visible to the internet and kind of brings in another wave of listeners here and there. So if there is anything that you could possibly do, donations are not being asked for here. Just a 5-star rating and perhaps a social media share of some kind. That would be absolutely amazing. So hopefully you guys are doing well, staying healthy. Crazy times. I know the U.S. vote is coming up, and we're not in the States, but the election day is a big deal down there. So don't forget to pre-register for whatever state you're living in, and the vote happens November 3rd on Tuesday. I'm sure the whole world knows at this point, but I just got to throw that out there as well. So other than that, guys, thanks again for listening, and may the Force be with you. Enjoy Star Wars Squadrons, because that just launched this weekend. I'll be playing it this week.